Okay, welcome back. We're still continuing on with 4.4 Intro to Problem Solving. Here's a couple more problems that I'd like to share with you. The first one, it says a 22-foot pipe is cut into two pieces. The shorter piece is 7 feet longer than the longer piece. What is the length of the longer piece? Once again, we need to identify our variable, we need to set up an equation, and then we need to solve it. So this is a multi-step problem as well. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure we understand the problem, and we do that by reading it or drawing a picture or a combination of things like that. So this says a 22-foot pipe is cut into two pieces. So here we have our pipe. Okay, our pipe here. And it's going to be cut into two pieces. Here we have the shorter piece and the longer piece. And we know that this distance between here and here is 22 feet long. Okay, so we have our equation now. We know that we have the shorter plus the longer equals 22 feet. So now we need to identify what our shorter piece is and what our longer piece is. So if we look up here and we read the problem again, it tells us that the 22-foot pipe is cut into two pieces. Here we have our two pieces, shorter and longer equals 22. We never want to cut this right in the middle unless it says it's equally cut into two pieces. It says the shorter piece is 7 feet shorter than longer piece. And does it tell us anything about the longer piece? Does it tell us how far it is, how long it is, or anything? No, so we're just going to call it a variable and just call it x. Then we're going to go back up here to the shorter piece, and we're going to rewrite this into an expression. It's 7 feet shorter than longer. So remember, shorter than tells us that we're going to subtract, and we're going to change the positioning. So we have the longer piece is x, and we subtract the 7 feet. So now we have our shorter piece, we have our longer piece, and we can plug them over here into our equation. So our shorter piece is x minus 7, and our longer piece is just x equals 22. Now we've set it up and we're going to solve the equation. We've already worked on this several times, so just as practice, why don't you hit pause and see if you can solve this without me, and then check back in and we will finish it up, okay? All right, go ahead. Okay, I hope y'all took this time to pause it and actually do the problem. So we're going to simplify this, and we combine like terms. We have 2x minus 7 equals 22. We're going to add 7 to both sides. 2x equals 29. Divide by 2x equals 29 over 2. Now, since this is a word problem, we do not want to leave this as 29 halves feet. We want to change it into a mixed number. So when we change it into a mixed number, we take the 2 and divide into 29. That would be 2. 1 goes into 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. Bring down the 9. 2 goes into 9. That'd be 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8 with 1 left over. So 14 and 1/2 feet. And what is that? That's x. X is the longer piece, is the longer piece. And certainly to make sure we can find it. So please make sure you're writing down all these steps in your notes, and then so you can use it for when you're doing your homework. Okay, let's do one more problem. If we have any questions, please take notes of them and then ask me about them during our Zoom sessions. If the Zoom session doesn't, the time that I have set up doesn't work for you, please make sure you email me and we can set up a time, another time to work on it, okay? All right, so. Okay, so here's our problem. It says a triangle has 3 angles, A, B, and C. Angle C is 18 degrees greater than angle B. Angle A is 4 times greater than angle B. What is the measure of each angle? So that we can draw a picture here and get an idea, here's our triangles, and we might call this A, B, C. It's not necessarily going to be equivalent to their size there. It's just getting an idea. We have 3. There's a rule we know about the measure of angles in a triangle, and that is the sum of their angles equal 180 degrees. So we can say that here that A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. So now I know that I need to know a measurement for A, a B, and a C. Here's my equation. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say A equals, B equals, and C equals. I'll leave some space so that I could write them down. What do they tell me about angle A? It says angle A, right here, is 4 times angle B. So I'm going to write that down. 4 times angle B. So I need to know something about angle B before I can translate that. So I'm going to go and look for angle B and see if they tell me anything about it. It says a triangle has 3 angles, A, B, and C. Angle C is 8. Oh, they tell me something about angle C, so let's come down here. It's 18 degrees greater than angle B. Do they tell me anything about angle B? I don't see anything where they say angle B is something. Do you? No. So we're just going to call it, what do you want to call it? We could just call it B for that matter. We'll call it B. B equals B. So now we need to go and start translating these 2 little expressions we have. What does times mean? Times means multiplication. So we can say 4B. 4 times angle B. Well, angle B is B, so it's 4B. Okay, greater than. What did we say we do for greater than? Anything that has the word than in it, we change the order of it, and greater than means that we're going to add to it. So that means that we're going to say B plus 18. So now we have our 3 pieces, and we're going to put our pieces in parentheses here. We always want to put them in parentheses so that we make sure. See how this has a plus sign? Sometimes y'all accidentally think that that's the same plus sign, but it's not. So A is 4B, so I'm going to put 4B here. What is B? B is just B, and C is B plus 18. So make sure when you evaluate, you put those pockets in there so that we don't make mistakes, or less likely of making mistakes. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. So we have 4B, B, and B. That would be 6B plus 18 equals 180. We're going to subtract 18. This would be 2. This would be 6, 1. We have 6B equals. Then we're going to divide by 6. And I need to find a little bit of room here. Maybe right here is a good spot. And go 6 into 162. 6 goes into 16. That would be 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. And then we have 42. 6 goes into 42 7 times. So B equals 27 degrees. Now, are we done with the problem? No. Whenever we have a big problem like this, any problem actually, whenever you solve it, you want to go back and you want to reread the problem to make sure you answered what was being asked. What was being asked in here, it says, what is the measure of each angle? So if you left right here and went on to your next problem and didn't answer the rest, you would lose a lot of points because you've only gave me one of the angles and not the other 2. So to find the other 2, we can come up here and go, well, B, let's see, yeah, I'm still on this camera here. 4 times 27, that would be 28. 108 is angle A. And we already know B is 27 degrees is B. And C is 27 plus 18. 8 and 7 is 15. 2, 3, 4, 45 degrees. So we have our 3 angles here. And they should add up to 180 degrees. Now we get a calculator. We can quickly add these up to make sure they're 180 degrees. Or we can add them. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 5 would be 20. So we have a 0. Carry a 2. And that'd be 2, 4, and then 8. And then we have the 1. So yes, we got to 180 degrees. Right? So if we have any questions about these intro to word problem solving, make a note of it. Let's talk about it during Zoom. There's also more of these problems under Connect Math under their videos. You just need to make sure you go to under resources and videos and then change to unit 4 and then change to section 4, 4.4. So if you have any questions about that, send me an email and we'll talk to you next time. All right, bye.